Hello all of you beautiful people, Jules here for WhatCulture.com. Yes, that's right, I'm back on the wrestling channel. I have stolen myself away from the warming embrace of the gaming channel because there was a story so important to tell, so monumental that I had to be a part of it, and that is Raven in the WWE. Listen, I can't help it. I absolutely love the Birdman, but even I have to admit that he went from being caw, that's so awesome to caw, that's pretty cack. But it wasn't his fault though, and as I sat down with scribe Michael Hamflett, we hashed out the good points and a lot of the bad points of his career to answer the question that is, Raven in the WWE, what went wrong? Well, let's have a chat. So let's start with a direct quote from Vince McMahon about Raven, and I want you to remember this for later on. Who the f*** hired Johnny Polo? It's not a great start for Scott, nor Jim Ross, who had to admit to the room that he was in at the time that he was the one who hired the up-and-coming mid-card talent. In fact, it was this kind of misunderstanding of the character that plagued Scott's entire career, but when he first arrived back in the WWE as Raven, my God, this boy was hot. He popped up during a match between Taz and Jerry Lawler at Unforgiven 2000, and the crowd erupted when he planted the King with a vicious DDT. For a split second, it looked like the Philly favorites were back and we're going to take the world by storm. But then something strange happened. In amidst all of the triumph of this moment was a seed of doubt, because Jim Ross exploded on commentary with excitement, saying, "This is brilliant, this is amazing, oh my God, it's Raven, but then immediately, a few seconds later, said, "But he doesn't actually work here." What a strange thing to say. In fact, so strange was it that all it could ever be seen as is Jim Ross trying to distance himself from the new talent that he just brought in. Not a good sign. I mean, the goods weren't exactly box fresh at this point, but they weren't particularly damaged either. But in order to explain why they were damaged in the first place, we're going to need to hop inside our little nifty time machine and jump all the way back to ECW. Now, to try and cut an incredibly long story short, the former Scotty Flamingo and Johnny Polo came to ECW reborn as the Raven character in 1995. A stoic, disillusioned nihilist, Raven was the embodiment of a certain corner of youth culture that Paul Heyman typically had a great feel for, as well as being the reinvention that Levy needed to make the most of his underrated promo abilities and above average in-ring game. Bulkier and broodier in all the right ways from the Johnny Polo persona that had left the WWE months prior, he was just the right amount of same and different in the land of the extreme, not least when word spread of his complex backstory. Now, at this point in time, Tommy Dreamer had been taking an absolute kicking in order to get over as a babyface with the fans, but that all changed the night that Raven debuted in ECW. It turned out that they'd been best friends at summer camp as kids, but the jock Dreamer had abused Raven and his overweight, acne-ridden girlfriend Beulah McGillicuddy, which sparked Raven's violence streak and thus became Dreamer's cross to bear. And you know what, I hate to say this, I really do, because the pun incoming is just so bad, but this feud between Raven and Dreamer gave the former wings. Tastes like battery acid. Raven had this unique power over people that came from his words, to the point where he didn't often need to use his actions. In fact, Raven got over far more with what he said than what he actually did, and soon his charisma brought more talent into his nest. He had a good thing going with Dreamer, so he used a rotating cast of goons to do the grunt work for him. Stevie Richards, Cactus Jack, hell, Raven even had a hold over the Sandman's wife and young son, and that's to say nothing of the cavalcade of female support that he received within the company. Soon, Raven was all that people could talk about. But this is the thing. When you draw money, you attract bigger paydays. And at that point in time, there wasn't a bigger payday than Ted Turner's WCW and Eric Bischoff's winning smile. After 2 years of creative and relative commercial acclaim, WCW came calling for Scotty and the Raven character. In that time, Raven achieved 2 long runs with the company's United States Championship, 2 stints with the Tag Team Championships, and, most notable of all, never lost to Tommy Dreamer until his very last night. You see, this point in time, this moment right here, my friends, this was the good shit. The real good shit. In fact, so good was it that Raven actually received the rarest of WCW treatments, in that he wasn't repackaged or tweaked at all. For a full year, he was the cock of the walk. But unfortunately, then somebody came along, tinkered with him, and broke what didn't need fixing. After a long absence, Raven returned with his wings thoroughly clipped thanks to a decision to have his story changed, from being a grunger to a spoiled brat who was just acting out because he could. Scotty embraced a can't tell me what to do attitude, and while on paper this character was a proper grim expression of wealth not being able to afford happiness, it ruined the ethos of everything leading up to this point. Within months of these vignettes airing, Eric Bischoff held a backstage meeting where he offered people releases if they wanted them. Now, recognizing that his character was damaged but not beyond repair, Scotty took the deal. But it came with one caveat, and that was if he was going to leave Turner money on the table, he couldn't wrestle with the WWF/E for a whole year. So what did Raven do? Well, he just went back to ECW instead. The promotion needed a star, and so he treated it like a welcome mat and wiped the WCW shit off his shoes for the length of a cup of tea. And so when the time came, Raven returned home to the WWF/E. I'm just going to call it the WWE for ease, okay? And I want you to remember right now that quote from Vince that I said at the very beginning. Who f***ing hired Johnny Polo? It still doesn't make quite a lot of sense, right? I mean, yes, he was a bit tainted by WCW, but he still had the potential to be white hot. What this quote actually says is how little Vince knew of anything that was going on outside of his own company. He still saw him as Johnny Polo. He'd ignored everything that had happened in between. And because Vince couldn't see the potential in Raven, he never gave him a chance to deliver on it. Teamed with Taz for a few more ECW pops reduced the character to nothing. He had no flock, he held no influence, and he had no chance of succeeding in this form. So Scotty got to thinking and found a brilliant way to inject his run with a bit of adrenaline. What he did was he took the brute force violence that was going on in the hardcore division at the time and injected a bit of intelligence into it. These weren't just clatter splatter fests anymore, these were well orchestrated spot matches with some decent wrestling in between. He became the hardcore ace for the company, and other talents were just simply drawn to him once more. I mean, hell, look at his Royal Rumble 2001 offering, look at his WrestleMania triple threat with Big Show and Kane. He brought brilliance back to bashing people with bins. And then came the invasion. Holy f*** was this bad. I mean, like as a kid, I actually did really enjoy this because I didn't know any better, but watching this back as an adult, what a huge disappointment this was. What a huge waste of everyone's time. And of course, Scotty Raven got swept up in the machinations and got turned from a potential leader to a goon once more. But even with another bad hand dealt his way, Scotty tried once more to get over using his intellect, and so stepped out of in-ring competition and went to commentary. And you know what? He was actually bloody brilliant, even amassing a cult following of audience members. But as with every minor success he had, Vince didn't seem to know what the hell was going on, so bypassed it completely. The sheer amount of times that Raven missed the mark through lack of attention is unbelievable, and it was no wonder that he asked for his release to try different waters in 2003. And that was all she wrote for Raven in the WWE. And it makes you wonder, maybe that quote shouldn't have been who f***ing hired Johnny Polo, but who f***ing fired Johnny Polo, because you pushed him out the door, Vince, and he could have been absolutely brilliant. It's a real shame. And there we go, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed that. Please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. And would you like to see more of these little story asides going there? Because it was really fun to record this, and I would like to do more of them. So yeah, let me know down in the comments sections below. If you want to chat to me further about wrestling, video games, anything else in between, you can do so over on Twitter at RetroJ with a 0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice. It's my personal gaming channel where I stream every single Wednesday and Sunday. I hope that you're treating yourself well, my friends. I hope that you are treating yourself with more respect than Vince Show bloody Raven, because you are a big ledge and you deserve love, happiness, and success, and do not let anything or anyone tell you otherwise. Big love from me to you. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. I'll speak to you soon.